Hey everybody, welcome to the show. We got a good show lined up. Jake's joining us. Are you really in an airport lounge, or are you just fucking trolling me?
I am in an airport lounge.
Oh my god, I'm so
There you
sorry.
go.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so I'm guessing it has something to do with what we're going to talk about tonight. But for people that don't know, Jake Green, he is co-host of Liberty Libations podcast. We met during the whole LNC convention stuff. We were chatting back and forth. He's been on the show before. He joined us for it was either a debate night or something like that. One of those shows you joined us for. And then you're also the founder of the Peaceful Sea Network, a grassroots independent media company that's issued a bunch of different documentaries. One that we're going to talk about a lot tonight is the Cascade Effect, which is investigating the death of Michael Hanson at the hands of the Cascade County Sheriff Office. I watched everything up to date. It seems like there's more coming, and it's so good, man. It's so good. It's so compelling. But yeah, welcome to the show, man. Welcome back. I know you're not drinking with us tonight, but how you doing?
Doing pretty well, man, considering I've been in an airport for 10 hours.
Yeah.
It's going okay.
Yeah. Just another day.
Yeah, man. I mean, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it, Tim.
Oh, of course, man. Been looking forward to it.
Heck yeah.
Let me see. What is everybody drinking tonight? What do y'all got? Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, I'm finishing off this Traveler's whiskey. It's been pretty good to me, I will say. We got a full glass, so we're gonna finish that off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mitch, are you gummy gating again?
Yeah, I'm gummy gating again, this time with the 30 milligrams.
Nice.
Wreck
Good deal.
them walls. Wreck them walls.
I'll be about
Gonna
2
wreck
hours
the
behind you,
regime.
Mitch.
About 2 hours behind him. All right, Josh, what do you got?
I'm all mesquite, skeet, motherfucker with the Del Bach over here, the Dorado here, and as a little extra bonus, I got this little white truffle pod that's like 97.61% with the strength content. So,
Yeah.
if you see me hitting on that, just know that I'm going to be in a different realm for a little while.
He's gonna headbutt his microphone by the end of the night. And I'm drinking the Maker's Mark. I'll be drinking that. I'm trying to finish this bottle. You guys see, I got all my bottles up behind me. I'm gonna show off my alcoholism to the world.
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah,
The
man.
glowing bottles of sadness.
LEDs.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, man. I like it. It was very pain in the ass to put it all up, but that's neither here nor there. All right, Jake. We last time that we had you on the show, it was during like a debate or something like that, so we didn't really get a chance to like get to know Jake, right? And so
I got plastered. I remember that.
yeah, we had a great time. We had a great time. But no, I want to know. I have so many questions now that I didn't have then, so maybe it's kind of good that it worked out that way. So, are you? I don't know if it's public or not. Are you in Georgia? Yeah.
I'm currently living in Georgia. We're selling our house and moving to Montana. So
Oh shit! What made why move to Montana, especially after everything we're about to go over?
2020, we bought the place. As soon as we were locked down, I was like, we need to buy a place in the middle of nowhere. So we did. And
Oh, okay.
every time we go visit, we come back to Georgia and land at that freaking Hartsfield International Airport. We want to kill ourselves. And so
Yeah.
decided to
I
move.
understand.
No, that's cool. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to ask you. Like, what is behind Peaceful Sea Productions? Is it like just you, or is it like you and a couple friends? Is there any kind of like support behind this? Because what you guys are doing, I was telling Mitch before the show, I'm gonna play the teaser, I think, because I don't want to give away the whole thing, but I want to like show people what you guys are doing, and just like the production quality. I was telling Mitch, this is like early days.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really fucking good. Oh, okay, so you guys watched it too. Mitch is the only one that didn't watch it.
I'm
Okay.
like-
I've known
I
about
saw the
Peaceful
message
Sea
a little bit
Productions I've known about these guys for years. I actually met Jake at like I think the 21 or like
Okay.
early 2022 Georgia convention when they
Yeah.
were still out like east. So
Heck yeah.
yeah, these guys do excellent. Like
It's
the whole
killer, dude.
production is
Yeah.
just fucking.
I appreciate it, Josh.
Roll the footage, Tim. You let people.
Do you want to
judge
just
for
start with
themselves.
that? Yeah, I can start with that.
Go for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
All right, here. I do have other questions about Peaceful Sea Network, so I'll get
Happy to answer.
yeah, I'll get
Are
there
you
later.
hiring?
No, I have no talent to. When you see this, I mean, just look at this alone. But when you see this, I have no talent to contribute.
Shots fired. I got one subject down. I've been hit in my left shoulder. 77 Wexford Lane.
Well, at around 5:30 p.m., we were called out here to Wexford Lane, the site of an apparent shooting.
Our deputy arrived on scene to serve a search warrant.
Mike was never on this warrant.
Michael Hanson, the suspect, pulled a firearm.
Mike had his hand in his pocket. Detective tried to jump the fence.
He went without backup.
The other deputies returning fire shot and killed the armed suspect.
There's actually a lot of things the investigation didn't look into.
Step off the property. Step off. Step off the property. What do you got there? Get your head. Fucking asshole.
I mean, that
You tell
kind
me
of.
it's a good shoot, I get it.
Oh.
If not a good shoot, why does it take 3 months for you to
Right.
clear up this investigation?
Yeah, I mean, just that was just like the 1 minute teaser, and the production quality throughout is consistently great. It's so good, man. And you like dive deep into like each of the topics and stuff. Yeah, that's what I was asking. So like, is it just you behind it? Is it you and a group of friends? Is there like, you guys need more funding? Like, where are we at? Yeah,
It's just me, and yeah, I mean, we all, independent media,
Sure.
this.
Yeah.
It always needs money. And so like I launched the network just
Fired, I
because
got one
started doing a bunch of podcasts. Like I started doing, Liberty Libations, Free Georgia podcast. I've got a couple of my own, and then we came across this one while we were visiting some libertarian folks in Montana. But yeah, we wanted a place where we could bring in a whole bunch of liberty-minded or just independent thinking shows and movies and documentaries and stuff like that. And so my wife helps me a lot, but so far it's just me. I tried to hire a marketing guy a few times, and none of them have the ideological bent that I need in order to actually make it work. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, we were talking about this with Pete. Like, you bring somebody in to do a job, and they just care about the money. They're not there for the vision. They're not there for the idea of the thing.
Big picture.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And that's another reason why I say, like, I have nothing to contribute. You guys are doing fucking great. Like, it's so good for like what it is, for it's you and your wife. And I saw there was another camera guy in a couple of the shots, but like, it's amazing. Like, this is what I was telling Mitch. This is early Netflix stuff. This is like true crime documentary. Like, this is what you want, man. This is like really good. You guys did a great job. And that's one of the questions I was going to ask you about the story, was how you came across it. And it makes sense. You're a libertarian. You ran into,
Yeah, I was at my first LP meeting up in Cascade County. We don't even live in Cascade County. There's just up until last week, there was no county or affiliate in my county.
Yeah.
So we were going up to the Cascade meetings, and at this meeting, the sons of the guy who got killed were there.
Yeah.
And they were trying to figure out what to do. The Libertarian Party was kind of trying to help them put out a press release and try to get this grand jury petition thing going. But they were a little stuck. They didn't have anybody who was good at media stuff.
Yeah.
And so it just felt like right place, right time. God called me to do that kind of scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah, it all kind of fell into place. Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. Yeah. So do you want to give people who haven't seen it, like, this was the teaser or whatever, kind of give you the overshot? Somebody got shot. That's what happened. I want you to give in the rundown of it. Before I do, though, I'm going to feel bad if I don't do this now. Ronan gifted 5 memberships. If you got a membership from Ronan, say thank you. You owe him a drink. That's how it works. Somebody buys you a membership, you got to buy him a beer next time you see him. We do member streams on Sundays, so you guys are all get notifications for that now. But anyway, break down the story, and we'll all take a drink while you do. What is the story in Montana? Why is this Mike Hanson shooting? Why is this important?
Well, man, there's something weird happening in Montana. It's got the second most exonerations over the past 15 years per capita than any other state. And so there's a lot of innocent people going to jail for things they didn't do. And this happened to be a case where a guy ended up getting killed for something he didn't do. And yeah, this happened back in February of last year, so 2024. And basically a sheriff's deputy came to quote unquote run surveillance. Ended up getting into a confrontation with this guy, jumped the fence and shot him. And we think he may have, we know he broke a bunch of laws and a bunch of procedures and a bunch of codes in the process. And it was just quietly kind of swept under the rug. No one was talking about it. They waited 4 or 5 months before they actually did their own inquest and then published the results from that. So everybody had forgotten about it. But Kevin Leverbaro and Tony Rosales, who they head up the Cascade County Libertarian Party. They're the ones who wouldn't let it go. And so it's all thanks to them that I even found this case. So.
Yeah, no, and it's an incredible story too, because it's worse than you said right there. Like, it's not only that they buried the story, they gave the guy a fucking award.
Yeah.
For killing a guy that had nothing to do with the actual case at hand. And the way that I understand it is they weren't even there for Mike. They were showing up at Mike. Okay, this is one thing I didn't get clearly through it, and maybe it's just my poor comprehension. But was it her property and he was watching it, or was it his property?
So she owns the property, but she doesn't live there, and it's his permanent residence.
Okay, because
so he's basically a tenant or an invitee.
He's a tenant, and in Montana, like a verbal or handshake agreement is enough to establish permanent residence. You don't need any legal documents or anything like that.
That's what I'm talking about. Fuck you.
Yeah, I do need to backtrack a little bit and explain who she is, but before I do, Eddie, thank you. 5 more gifted memberships out there. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. And again, everybody can join the members only streams on Sunday. Okay, so the she that we're referring to, there's this lady, Pamela Polajewski. If I said it right.
Whoa.
I didn't make up the name. That's her name, bro.
Whoa.
That's pretty much, yeah. I mean, we've heard it pronounced.
That pretty much tells you the story.
Okay, chill, boys. So, no, but anyways, there's this lady. She gets convicted of a crime. I'm not clear on what the crime is. Maybe you can elaborate on it. But she gets convicted of a crime where it's an animal cruelty crime. And so part of that punishment is that she's not allowed to have animals or be around animals or anything like that. And then so an off-duty officer sees her at a Walmart buying cat food or cat litter or whatever, buying pet supplies, and calls his buddy, Officer Deputy Try, I think is the guy's name. Is that right? Yeah, Sergeant Jacob Try. Calls him and says, hey, remember that lady that we arrested for animal cruelty? She's over there at the Walmart, and she's got cat food and cat litter. So they're working on processing her car. They're trying to seize her car, tow her car, do all this kind of stuff. And meanwhile, Mike is over at the property taking care of the animals. She says, I was there at Walmart buying this stuff for him because he doesn't have a car. He's just over there at the property, whatever. I'm just bringing it to him. They're not my animals. I'm just helping out, basically. Yeah. And so they say, okay, whatever. And then this guy, Sergeant Jacob Try, decides that he's going to do some surveillance. He wants to go check out. That's what he says, is I'm going to do some surveillance or whatever. And I've got the official, your guys' breakdown in there. I'm going to show that clip as well, if you don't mind. Nice. Yeah. I'm going to show that clip of their official story. But basically, he decides to go to the property. Mike is there. He, in my estimation, I'm not saying this, or I'm saying this, you're not saying this. He's lying. He's saying
what now?
What?
He's lying. No, he lies, and he says I've got a search warrant or whatever, and Mike says
he doesn't.
Mike says show me the warrant. Well, the guy can't produce the warrant.
Because I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until you show it to me.
And then, not only does he say I've got a warrant, he hops onto the guy's property. Like he hops over a fence onto the guy's property. Yeah. Now, at this point, Mike doesn't do anything. I think what Leatherborough breaks down in there, and I'll just kind of leave this as a teaser. I won't show this part of the documentary because I want people to go watch it. But based on what you guys went there to the property, and checked it out, and it does look like he was turned away. So it's not even like he's in an aggressive posture, like get the fuck off my lawn, like I might be. It's he's very passive about it. He's like, no, I'm not fucking going there. He turns to the side, gets shot, gun jams. He clears the jam, shoots again, and then finally Mike fires back. But ultimately, Mike dies there. And again, just to rewind, this whole case has nothing to do with Mike. He just happens to be there. He just happens to be taking care of some animals that the other lady's not supposed to have. And that's why I wanted to establish whose property it was. But yeah, I mean, what did I miss? Anything you want to elaborate on there? And I'll find the clip. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, one of the craziest things, there weren't any animals. So they found
that was the other one. Yeah.
They found a bunch of stray cats. They found some stray cats that were in one of the trailers that he was clearly feeding because
You got to feed the strays.
Yeah,
I feed the strays in my neighborhood, bro.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to get shot over it.
Stray guardians I know out there in my life.
The only animal that was there that was actually owned by somebody was owned by Mike Hanson, and the cops left her in a kennel for 4 days without food or water.
Yeah, that's the end of the or not the end, but the latest episode.
Very typical police.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they went there to serve a search warrant for animal cruelty.
And then we're
charges.
cruel to animals.
And
wow. Almost like they're
animals.
law enforcement or something. That's crazy.
It's wild, man. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, there's so many inconsistencies with the case and with what they said, and the sheriff himself, the sheriff of Cascade County, who ran as a constitutional sheriff, said that you don't need a warrant to go onto somebody's property. It kind of just bolsters your case. So, and he said that under oath in court, which is insane.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so much to this. You guys got anything before we get to? I want to show this clip that kind of breaks down the official story and kind of again just showcases how great you guys are at what you do. You and your wife, I suppose. You guys are doing great.
Yeah, I like that you guys are doing this. I also like how the local Libertarian Party was just not concerned with politics. They were like, no, we are going to make this known. Like, this is the thing. And now they have an impact. Like, that's cool that they have an impact doing that at the local level. Something that I wish, we could get going here. Like, I've always wanted to bring.
You just want somebody to get shot so you can defend them.
Yeah, I mean, there's more than 9 ways to skin a cat.
That's right.
Sure, Rob.
Minimum 9, okay?
I'm sure the lady in the film would agree with me.
There's at least 9, at least.
The cops thought of a couple too. All right, yeah. That's all I want to say. Good job on the local LP there for I don't know, just getting together.
They only formed like 2 years ago too. Like they're brand
pretty
new,
crazy.
and they started with this. Which is
my local LP is like pretty much dissolved right now, so it sucks.
That's your fault, not his.
Yeah. Well, here, let me share this tab over here. This is the guy. This is the chair of the Cascade LP. One of the guys that helped found it. So, what was his name? Something.
Tony Rosales.
Tony Rosales. Yeah, he definitely looks like a Montana native. I'm just saying. Anyway,
he looks more like he's native to my state.
More like
Montana.
a native, dude. Yeah, he looks like a native.
That's what I mean. Go look up the history.
Hey, how
off
are
one
you?
of the reservations over here for me.
Yeah, I would hope he would enjoy that joke. Anyway, let's yeah, I want to show this because this kind of breaks down the official story. So here, I'm gonna play. Looks like about 2 minutes of it.
Cool.
Even though there's an audio recording of the incident, and there were only 2 people directly involved, this case, as well as the decade of events leading up to this case, are very complex. But before we tackle the complexities, we're going to start with the actual incident itself. In September of 2024, we went with Kevin Leatherbarrow to the scene of the crime. Both of us wanted to get a sense of how it could have played out and why Mike was dead after only 89 seconds. The official story put forth by law enforcement was that Sergeant Try went out to Wexford Lane to run surveillance, something which we've already pointed out is basically impossible without being noticed. When Mike approached the gate to see who it was, Try got out of his vehicle and made contact. Keep in mind that Sergeant Try is in an unmarked vehicle and in plain clothes, with the addition of his bulletproof vest. They then have their interaction, the audio that you heard at the beginning of the episode. Mike repeatedly asks to see the warrant while Sergeant Try refuses to show him unless he steps off the property. Mike begins to walk away. Try jumps the fence and asks Mike, "What do you got there?" Sergeant Try then fires his weapon. The magazine malfunctions after the shot goes off and he attempts to clear his gun as Mike says, "Fucking asshole," and pulls out a snub-nosed revolver from his pocket and begins firing at Try, hitting him in the shoulder. Try clears his malfunction and fires back, ultimately hitting Mike, who continues to fire his weapon as he falls to the ground. Sergeant Try then retreats to his car and calls for help. Let me reiterate here that this is the official story. Much of it is correct. One crucial detail is an outright lie. Sergeant Try fires a Glock 9mm from very close to the recorder. Mike Hanson fires a .38 revolver from about 8 yards away. They have distinctive audio signatures, as you can see.
Is it still going?
What we are able to prove is that Sergeant Try fired his first shot, took 2.16 seconds to clear his magazine, and then fired his second shot before Mike was able to get a single shot off. Mike,
I'm going to play the very beginning too. This is the actual recording. So, whatever.
With civilian Michael Hanson. It lasted 89 seconds.
Did it not start at the beginning? Start at the beginning.
With civilian Michael Hanson.
Okay.
It lasted 89 seconds. By the end of that minute and a half, Michael was fatally shot and Detective Try was wounded. The following is the only known recording of the incident from beginning to end, with no edits or enhancements.
How goes it, Mike? We got a search warrant for the property. My partner's got the paper copy, but...
What do you need a search warrant for?
Because we got a search warrant. You'll read it when you get it here.
Yeah?
You'll see it when you get here.
Alright.
But we got a search warrant, so...
Why do you guys go chase some real criminals?
What do you mean? I do chase real criminals.
Chasing after Pam, she hasn't done a damn thing.
What's she doing out here?
Bringing me food and water for the animals.
Okay. What's her conditions say?
Huh?
What does her bail conditions say? She's not supposed to be around animals or possess anything, animals.
Well, if you get your fucking warrant.
I already got a warrant. Mike, come back here. You need to leave the property.
I don't have a way out of here. I don't have a
Well, you need to stay off the property, so step off. Or you can go to jail for obstruction, I'm telling you now. Step off the property. Who else is here?
Nobody.
Okay, step off the property.
Fuck that. Let me see your...
I'll show you the warrant, but you're going to step off the property.
No, I ain't
Yes,
stepping
you
off
are.
nothing until I get a warrant.
You're going to step off this property, I'm telling you now.
When I see a warrant.
Okay, come here. Step off the property.
I'm not stepping off the property.
Step off the property.
Alright.
What do you got there?
Tim jumping the fence.
Get your head.
Fucking asshole.
Bro, look at this. You're so good, dude. No, but look, that's their official story. That's what they say happened. You hear the audio recording for yourself of them jumping over. The guy's being a real fucking dick the whole time. I got a warrant. I'm here. You're gonna do what I say. Just the whole time, man. Yeah. Anyone?
Yeah, man, it was wild. Like I've heard that recording a million times, and
yeah,
one of the craziest things is they had that recording from day one.
Yeah.
Not once did they ever analyze the audio. I downloaded the audio, analyzed it within 45 seconds. I knew who shot when, and they still don't even know. Their stories still don't even line up on how many shots actually took place during the incident. So like, they're a complete mess. It seems like they've been getting away with this kind of thing for a very long time, and so they don't actually have to cover their tracks very well anymore. Because this took me 45 seconds to know who shot first and that they were lying. That because Detective Try says that as he was clearing his malfunction, Michael Hanson was shooting at him.
Yeah.
And from all accounts, like Hanson is a dead shot, which is Yeah, and he's only 8 yards away, so it's not like they're
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't terribly far away because like you guys go to the property there, and that's like what this whole. I don't want to play the whole thing, but this is like the whole section here, and there's other parts we probably could have started with first, but like I'm trying to get like a good overview of the area, but like yeah, like this, everybody here, I think except for Rob, has been to my old property. It's very much the same, except there's no trees. Like there's no way to do surveillance out here. Like there's another part of the documentary where you guys show like the hill. There's like a hill that's like 300, 400 yards away or whatever it is. And like that's like the only vantage point. And anywhere in there, that this person doesn't belong there.
Yeah, it's a dead end.
Yeah.
It's the end of a road. Like it dead ends into this property and there is not a single tree.
Yeah. And the guy says he was going out there to do surveillance, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, and then he said
he was going to do surveillance, but then he called Pam and said, "I'm going out there."
Yeah.
Like you can't run surveillance after telling the people you're going to go run surveillance on them. Like it's bizarre.
It's like defeats the purpose of surveillance.
Right.
I think so. Yeah. I think it does.
Yeah, well, and then the other part that kept tripping me up too is like listening to the later episodes too, like especially where he's like saying, basically the cops are trying to push the blame off on Mike, the dead guy, because the dead guy can't testify, and you're basically saying, he instigated the whole thing. It's his fault, motherfucker. You're supposed to be doing surveillance. You rolled up on the property. Not only that, you showed up in an unmarked car, not in a uniform. That's other stuff that we didn't really like point out before, but unmarked vehicle. In plain clothes, you stopped on the hill, put a bulletproof vest on, rolled up to the property, and then you start confronting this guy. He knows who you are. You don't identify yourself. There's some nuance there, but whatever. And you tell him he's got to get off the property. He says, "No, I don't." So you jump over the fence and he's the instigator? Okay, bro.
And all he's asking for is a warrant. Just show him the warrant.
Show me the
warrant. You don't have it. You didn't have it. Yeah.
It's wild.
All over some cats.
All over some freaking cats, man. That's one of the biggest mysteries of this whole thing is why the sheriff's office is so obsessed with Pam and her animals.
Yeah.
Because basically she was running a no-kill shelter. So like she had like 200 and something animals on her property back in the mid like 20 teens. And they came and raided her place after a fire and found that like 90-something% of them were in good shape or overfed. Then there was like 26 dogs that were in like really bad shape, but it's because she runs a no-kill animal shelter. And so there's going to be dogs that are dying, So like, I don't know why they're so obsessed with this case. It's really bizarre. But a guy who had nothing to do with it. Actually, that's not actually entirely true. One thing he did have to do with it was he was the key witness for her defense. So once Mike Hanson, once Mike died,
so they knew him from that.
Shit.
If they're obsessed with this lady, then they know him because he's the key witness. The officer calls him by his first name whenever he approaches the property.
Yeah, they know each other.
Yeah. Oh, they've interacted before. There's a couple incidents at least, and Mike has been on record saying in the past that if somebody wasn't around when the cops came to his property before, that he thinks they would have killed him then.
I don't think that's in the documentary. Exclusive. Here you go. Preview for what's coming next, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Pam's finally out of jail, so now we get to.
Oh shit. Okay.
Maybe we get to go talk to Pam. That's what I'm flying to Montana for.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was she in jail for? Is that in the later episodes?
So she was being held for breaking her bond by having animals, which they never proved, and for tampering with evidence in the case against Mike and his death, which we're not really sure how she would have tampered with evidence. We think it was that her truck was involved and she drove it off or something. I'm not really sure. She didn't go back to the property after that, but she got convicted. Or no, she got convicted with no jail time for the animal cruelty thing, and then she just got out on bond for the other. So now she's out in the real world again, which is great because she's been in jail since March.
Don't laugh at your brother. Just ignore
I'm
him.
sorry.
Um,
The cheesing operation is pretty hilarious if you've seen South Park. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
That's
she's out there.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. That was one question that I had, and I kind of get why it's not like so prominent because it really doesn't matter what she did. But I guess that would be a good element to know is like what led to all this. Why are the cops like you were saying earlier? Like why is this such a pressing issue? Like the multiple times throughout the series, you guys point out like this is a misdemeanor charge. Like this is really like nothing at all.
Yeah.
This is like shouldn't be a big issue. And then again, that's why I wanted to establish whose property it was because it's like he's not even involved. But now you're telling me that he's a witness or yeah, he was a witness in her case and she's a witness in his case and it's all kind of tied together. You know, I was telling my wife about this on the way home today and she was asking me, she's like, "Oh, like Montana like that." Like she's like, "Are you sure you want to like she's asking me like why the cops are so corrupt out there?" And I was like, "Well, you heard of like small town corruption? Well, the entire state of Montana is a small town."
That's right.
And
That's
you've
exactly
got
right.
and you've got this fucking and you can't get a better name, right? Sheriff Slaughter. That's the guy's fucking name. Like
Cascade County also has
God,
a
it has
crazy
a-
ring to it.
it does,
Yeah,
dude.
it does. It
Yeah,
does.
it's just the whole thing is just amazing, in a bad way, but it's so intriguing. I definitely want to know more about all this, and you guys go deep into so much about it. About like Pam's interaction with the things at Walmart and what happened there. Now you're going to get to interview her, so that's great. You get more of that side of the story. Talking about the state law. One I think it was Leatherboro or Bart. I don't know who Bart is, but I kept seeing him. But one of the points that he was making there is, in the testimony that the cops were given. Let's talk about that a little bit. Like there was this, you guys did kind of like an hour long podcast session where you guys kind of went through the testimony. What was that? It's called
Coroner's inquest.
Yeah. Okay. So what is a coroner's inquest and what happened
So
there?
basically what it does, so like in Georgia, to get somebody indicted for something like this, they have to go through grand jury.
Okay.
Grand jury that we're seeking for this case is very different than Georgia. So the coroner's inquest is basically Georgia's grand jury, which is there's no defense. It's only the people like focusing on. It's only the prosecution, which was the county attorney, and he brought on stand like the sheriff, the coroner, a lab guy, and then a couple other deputies and a couple other folks. So there's no one testifying like against or defending anything that happened with Mike. They were supposed to be investigating to see if Tri did anything wrong during
Right.
this incident. And so that's kind of what the coroner's inquest is.
So it's kind of like an investigation into what happened. It's not really a trial. They're just trying to find. It's the government investigating themselves, is what it seemed like.
That's 100% right. Because I mean,
yeah.
full on lies, and like, there's no one there to say, "Wait a second, you just lied."
Yep.
Let's go back and try that again.
Yep. Yeah, and it's another great thing that you guys do is even in like this podcast breakdown of what happened there. I think you guys pointed out something like 22 lies, and it's not like. This isn't debatable. It's like there's so many different lies in there about all the things. And one of the things that kept coming up was like, and this is something that our libertarian audience will appreciate. You want to get down into the weeds and talk about the autistic nuances of different things. The difference between statutes and rules. And you're saying like, there's a legal statute on the procedure of how you're supposed to serve a warrant versus the rules and procedure that the police were following at the time. And so can you kind of like break that down a little bit too? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so just for instance, like during COVID, they were given a new set of rules so they didn't have to go interact face to face with like the judges to get the warrants and stuff. So they were able to get the warrant electronically. However, the statute is you still have to serve the warrant in person with a written copy or like photocopy of the original. And so like the difference basically is just house rules, like whatever the police decide that their policemen have to live by, and then what is actually written into law. And so like statutes are extremely important because that's how we are, like, that's our kind of our guide for interacting with law enforcement and interacting with any public official is, okay, what's actually a statute on the books that I can, go to jail for or get a ticket for or what have you. And they really tend to conflate statutes and rules and codes and all these different things into one thing as if it all means the same thing when
Right.
it no way does.
Yeah, and that's what you hear in the recording is him keep saying, like, show me the fucking warrant. Just show me the warrant. That's all you got to do is show me the warrant. And he can't produce it because I believe, not anything you're asserting, I'll assert it. He didn't have one.
He didn't have one. I'll
Yeah.
assert that. I'll
Yeah.
assert the crap out of that.
Yeah, because I don't know if you guys like found that or whatever, but it's the way it seemed to me. It was like the way everything was presented is that one didn't exist, and that's why he didn't have one. They couldn't have gotten one in the amount of time of like finding her at Walmart, and it's another thing I'd like to see you guys kind of do is like a breakdown of the timeline. Like how long was it from the time? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, he had one. It just the judge had approved it, but the paperwork wasn't done, and he was trying to jump the gun because time is of the essence. This is what these fucking law pigs have to like use against us is, oh, well, time was of the essence. I couldn't wait for the paperwork to get cleared. I already had approval from a judge. What does it matter if the paperwork was done or not?
Right.
Like this is the sad precedent that we have set for almost 2 decades now, if not more.
Yeah.
3
So
decades now.
Are you saying the because of the new rule during COVID, the cop was kind of thinking he might have had some more leeway on the warrant there? Is that the rule they were kind of bringing up? Say, hey, this was our policy during the time, and we tried to follow it. This way, we didn't need a physical warrant, even though we still needed a physical warrant. Were they trying to finagle that?
It seemed like they were trying to finagle that, but also that they just didn't really seem to have a good defense other than, well, the warrant was issued, but he didn't have it in his hands. And so like their defense is that, so the warrant was issued, but it has to be signed by the deputy who requested the warrant, which was Try. And so he didn't have a physical copy, so he couldn't have signed it.
And he couldn't have presented it. It still needs to be presented. So. Yeah.
So there's really no good defense. They tried a few different things during the coroner's inquest, and
those cats were about to be fed, and I had to stop it.
Exactly.
Those cats would have gotten fat had I not been there and shot that man.
He literally could have just sat on the hillside and watched the property, because if you're going to start setting loose dogs and cats, like you're going to see them scatter. Like and just film it with your phone. It's really not that difficult.
You don't have to kill people.
Yeah, that was another thing they kept like you guys pointed it out, and that's why it stuck out to me. But during the inquest, they kept he kept using as his defense for my safety, for our safety, for the safety of myself and him. For safety, that stopped the moment you jumped the fence, bro. Like you're not being safe anymore. You're actively engaging in this situation and causing shit.
Yes,
he's playing cowboy. Playing cowboy.
Yeah, that's called active escalation. You're doing it on purpose. Like, so you hear it all the time with like gun safety is there's de-escalation. Like you want to de-escalate the situation. Well, with law enforcement, there is no benefit to de-escalate the situation. There's actually a benefit to escalate the situation because of all the laws and all the regulations and all the ordinances that protect them as law enforcement officers.
Yeah.
By escalating the situation, it is to their benefit. They want you to react in what they consider a negative sense so that they can react and then in turn claim self-defense or that they follow procedure or that you fell in line with their risk assessment policies that they have in place for their department. So yes, like cops are under no obligation like most of us to de-escalate. Why? Because they don't need to. Legally speaking, there's no benefit to it. There's actually a legal benefit to escalate the situation so they get more defenses, not less.
Why was there audio and not video? Why was there no...
You're so good at segues. Yes.
that was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically what happened was that Try was at lunch when he was called. about Pam, and he didn't stop at the sheriff's office to get.
Did he drop his donut on the camera lens and it was just?
He very well could have. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But he didn't pick up a body camera. He didn't pick up a taser. He didn't pick up any non-lethals. He didn't pick up his government-issued vest. He didn't pick up a patrol vehicle. He didn't do anything that he should have done. And so when he got there, he started recording audio on his phone, not video. Don't know why. And then he said he didn't want to show, because he had a copy of the screenshot of the warrant on his phone.
Not good enough.
It's not good enough because he hadn't signed it yet. He needed to have signed it. And it also has to be a physical copy. And he said that he didn't want to present that to Mike because he thought it would stop the audio recording, and he really wanted there to be an audio recording.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that, but it's sleazy.
Sounds like he's just retarded. Like that's why he nailed a job as a police officer, because he couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
He's able to shoot people. That's what he's able to do. So he'll do it.
This is not the only incident. We're doing a second season as soon as.
Oh shit!
As soon as we wrap up this case, and we were considering another Jacob Try incident, but we'll see.
Fuck
damn!
This guy. Yeah, fuck this guy, 100%. You know, I like
Second incident, same guy.
It's like a libertarian twist to true crime, because true crime, it's about like an actual criminal typically, and then whenever I follow like Audit the Audit, Police the Police, those kind of channels, it's like a deep dive on the police.
It's really good.
Stepping on the citizens' rights. And so it's like a whole nother genre of true crime. It's true crime, but against the officer, and I love it. I personally
true crime plus freedom.
I personally will be watching the rest of the season naked tonight at my house.
There you go.
I'm so glad they got that little detail in there too. That's
great.
Oh,
well, I had to let you know.
Yeah. Well, listen, we do have an OnlyFans, and we need to promote it. Okay, so this is one way we can do it. Okay.
That's probably what brings in the money anyway. So.
That's right. That's the only way.
The only way we make money in this podcast.
I will feed my 3 stray cats naked in the name of Mike tonight.
No, man.
Hey, rest in peace.
I was saying it's a good segue because that's another thing that came up during this is like he had the audio recording. I want to know, you're never going to get this from him, but I want to know what possessed him to do that. My suspicion is he knew he was supposed to wear that body camera because there's a Montana law that you guys go over in there, or Montana statute or whatever it is. Basically, the procedure, the rules that he's supposed to follow is he's supposed to have this on him, and he showed up without it. And another thing you guys do great in this, and you guys really got to go watch it. It's more detailed. I'm remembering a lot of stuff. There's even more in there. There's a moment where you guys kind of break down. I think it's during the podcast where you're going through the testimony where you pull up the map and you're like, where he was at. What was it, like Smith's something? It's some local
Smith's
hardware
Marketplace. It's a grocery store.
Okay, so Smith's Marketplace. From Smith's Marketplace to the property, he has to pass the sheriff's place. Like, it's on the way. It's not like he was in the middle of nowhere.
And there's no rush. The warrant might have been ready. The longer you take a little bit longer, maybe that warrant's ready and you can sign it.
Time is of the essence, Rob. In any criminal matter,
these
time
cats
is
cannot be fed.
Always of the essence. There could be evidence being destroyed. There could be evidence being removed from the property. We don't know. Time is of the essence, Rob. If we want to make sure that we're eliminating the criminal threat in our communities, time is of the essence.
Tell that to the cats. Cats hang around. They like to hang
I'll tell
around.
it to the cats and the dogs. The dogs and the cats that are all being eaten in Springfield, Ohio. We're going to tell all of them that time is of the essence.
Joe's got a really good idea. We should simulcast this on OnlyFans, only showing the lower halves of our bodies.
Oh, that is hilarious.
That's a really good idea.
That's such a good
I'm going to stream with no pants on from now on.
You don't want to see that, Joe.
It's small and scary on Rob, for sure.
Very
You don't want to
scary
see
wish.
Definitely
no,
scary.
it's crazy because like like the body cam thing, that would have been great to see right there, because then there's like no excuse. But I just want to know what's going on in that officer's mind. You know, why he felt the need to record the audio. I think it's because he knew he was supposed to do that. He knew that he was supposed to have some sort of recording, and that was like a subconscious thing maybe that he did. And the whole body cam thing. And that was another thing that came up during like the testimony stuff, and it was really brief in the beginning, but it's something that I kind of latched onto, because every time I see one of these police shooting things, I'm instantly reminded of Black Lives Matter, like instantly. Mm-hmm. And I have to go back there and I talk, and you know, you hear all these people talk about Black Lives Matter stuff. The Black Lives protesters were saying like, well, we have to have criminal justice reform. We have to have police reform. They need more training, is what one thing that always comes up. They need more training. They need more. Yeah. In his testimony, they asked him if he had any additional training. Over 820 hours of additional training that this guy took. And he's still out there acting like fucking Billy the Kid, hopping over the fence and saying, "You're coming with me now." Dude,
that's wild. I mean, he's a shorter dude. So he's like, I don't know. He's much shorter than me. Yeah. I think he's like 5'10", 5'9", somewhere in there. So he's
super short. What a fucking midget.
Okay, he's 4 inches shorter than me. And I had a hard time leaping that gate because we did the reenactment.
Yeah.
Him, so he not only
hard
leapt
time.
over the gate.
Hold on. You fucking launched. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hold on. Yeah. Bring him back to the gate. I want to see that real quick. Because I'm 5'9", so like, I'm pretty average dude.
I'm pretty sure when I watched this,
that gate, I could get over that gate in one hop, no problem. And I'm fucked up in the game right now.
And so can Jake. And that's what I'm saying. Because like, if you watch this, hold on.
The audio that you heard at the beginning of the episode.
You, right? With the security?
Yeah, that's him with the security. Hey, look at the back of that head.
Yeah.
Can't mistake it.
Face anytime.
Mike repeatedly asks to see the warrant while Sergeant Try
because you leap
to show
that
him
shit.
Unless he's
you don't give yourself enough credit.
One shot.
Tried.
Yeah,
one shot Jake over there. Just like.
Yeah.
Well, then he got shot in the arm and jumped over it again.
Yeah.
And not only that, 6 feet to the left, there's a place where you can just walk through. You can just walk right through.
Oh yeah, because that's what you guys were walking up to at the beginning of the thing here. I'll right just play it quietly. Yeah, that's what he's walking up to, is that gap in the gate.
You can just walk right through it. And like if you're a cop and you're surveilling the property, that a walkway entrance might be the thing that you spot.
If you're a smart cop,
when you're surveilling shit, you want to like path of least resistance is something you want to look for. That's fucking crazy.
It's wild. Yeah. So the fact that he jumped back over the fence is insane to me. I don't know why he did that, considering Mike's dead on the ground.
Did he admit to jumping over the fence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
he did.
Full on admits, yeah.
I can explain it easy enough if I was a fucking scumbag cop. I fear for my life. I wanted to make sure that I got away from the threat that could potentially harm me further. I didn't know he was dead.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. My brother and I are on the same wavelength here. It is way more intimidating to hop the fence. Like if he hopped the fence like how you hopped the fence, I'd be like, okay, shit's happening.
I get why the cop got shot. Like, why I fucking asshole. Like, yeah, you just hop my fence. You're coming at me in an aggressive manner. Yeah, I'm probably gonna reach for my gun at that point because I've already asked you several times for a warrant. You failed to produce it. I'm pretty sure at this point, if I were him, that this is bullshit and this cop is just fucking with me. And he's looking to see if we're going to fucking play cowboy. So let's play cowboy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%, man. This guy's ego is so huge. I mean, he went there without backup. Like he didn't go there with any other cops, any other sheriff's deputies. Like he went there by himself and still engaged with this guy, even though it was against every protocol they had, every procedure they had. And then, he leapt the fence, like completely unnecessarily.
I don't need protocol. I can hop the fucking fence on my own, by myself, alone, with no help. The fuck do I need protocol for? course.
And again, what's getting me too is, Jake, you mentioned this, is like, why the fuck is it a big deal, dude? Or like, why are we so obsessed with these cats? Like, what else is going on in Montana?
The non-existent cats. That's another important part. They weren't there. From everything that I saw,
There wasn't even any cats at the end of
Not
all.
anymore.
There was one animal, and it was a dog. It was Mike's dog, and it was locked up in the shed. And the cops showed up days after to like collect evidence or do whatever. That remind me about that. They came to collect evidence and do whatever, and they left the dog there for like 4 or 5 days.
Yep.
Not fed the dog, not anything. So
Look,
this whole case about animal.
The dog is not the priority here, Tim. Have we not already established this point in this conversation?
There's some hypocrisy, but go ahead.
Just
Jeff.
keep in mind it's February in Montana, so it's in the negatives.
Freezing. It's freezing nuts.
Look, it's freezing in Arizona. I can't imagine what it is like 2,500 miles north of me in Montana.
We'll ask Jake in a few months when he moves there.
Yeah.
Jake,
I'm
how
gonna be
cold
in
is
the
it in
thick of it.
Montana?
It'll be -4 in a couple days when I'm up there.
Jesus, dude.
Fuck
And
that.
you chose that life?
Yeah, man, I like the cold. I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm miserable. I don't like
To
the
each
cold.
their own.
Nope.
That's fair, Mitch.
A personal question or a personal inquiry that I have for here. During the documentary, like you said, it was the middle of February when the shooting happened. There was snow on the ground, all this kind of stuff. They came out multiple times to go try to find evidence. And if I understand correctly, they didn't find all of the rounds. But you guys, when you went out there, you found a round or a casing in a place.
5 minutes.
Yeah, like right away of where it should have been. Yeah, that. So, did you guys ever like turn that in? Do you report that? Like, is there confirmation that that was of that event, or?
I believe we've sent it off to have it analyzed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no one else on that property shoots 9mm, and and the cop shot 9mm. So
Sure.
There's no way it's anybody else's, and it was literally right where it would have ejected. Like it was exactly where it would have been, and they didn't. They said they collected everything. Well, they didn't collect everything.
Did you take a picture of where it was when you found it on the ground?
I mean, it's
yeah.
it's in the documentary. Go watch. Yeah.
I watched the first episode, or almost through the first
yeah.
episode. So yeah.
I watched all of it. I initially started watching because I was like, all right, Jake's gonna be on later. I got to know what I'm talking about. And then I was like, this is really fucking good, dude. I got to keep watching.
That's kind of the idea. We want to get more people involved, and it's our biggest, like on PCC Network, it's our biggest show by far. I mean, we get
This is really good, man.
40,000 people watching every episode. So
that's crazy.
Also, just to address Ronan's comment in the chat there, it was colder than everywhere except Tucson last week there, buddy. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, about how cold it was everywhere. Yeah.
We were the warmest part in the 48 contiguous last week. I loved
it. Looks like
it.
Kevin's in the comments too. He said we have -21 in February. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck no.
Oh, this is the guy from the. Hey, I saw you on the TV.
Yeah.
I saw you on my TV. Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, good to see you, Kevin, and you and I can never remember the native's name. Yeah. Hopefully he enjoys these jokes. Listen, Tony, if you're watching,
he's got a good sense of humor. He's got
okay, good. Yeah.
Right.
Listen,
he's a
it's all.
man. He's all good.
Well, it goes either way sometimes. These guys. But anyway,
I mean,
a lot of libertarians go either way. It's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
What'd you say,
Somebody.
Mitch?
I just said because when I think of woke, I think of Montana.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's true. They did kick Chase off the ballot. This was okay. So this screenshot here, I wanted to share this too because, I think it skipped forward. I didn't want to do that. This is what I wanted. So this is like the list of code and procedural violations that you guys kind of outline in. Why does it keep doing that? Oh, it must be playing. It must be playing. I'm sorry.
God damn it, Timmy.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm faking gay and I understand it. I'll get it.
Surveillance only, no backup. Failed
Yeah,
to
no.
identify as police officer.
Come on, Tim. Get it
Illegally
right.
recorded
I got it.
video.
I got it.
There we, yay. Right.
No, I wanted you to kind of run through. So, like, am I right? These are like the assertions that are made throughout the series about like y'all's take on it.
Pretty much, this was our initial, like, this is what we found after just a couple months, and since then we found more stuff. But yeah, he went there for surveillance only. He went there without backup. He never said he was a police officer, which even if you know the guy, he's an old man. He might not remember you. He in Montana is a two-way state as far as recordings, so he illegally recorded somebody without telling him. He brought no non-lethals, so no taser, no like beanbag gun or anything like that. You can hear in the thing, he never tried to de-escalate ever.
Nope.
Never presented a warrant, and then once he jumped the fence, he trespassed, violated the Fourth Amendment, unlawful use of force, and basically.
Yeah, he was already ready to go. He was like, I do chase criminals. I do chase actual bad guys.
He's like, why don't you go chase a real criminal? He's like, that's what I'm doing right now.
I'm coming to chase you right now, buddy. You're the criminal I'm chasing.
You
running so I can shoot you.
You feeding cats over here, buddy? You're gonna stop that. You're gonna stop that right the fuck now.
We
Watch
don't
me
do
hop this
charity
fence.
here in Montana.
Watch me hop this fucking fence.
You think this fence is gonna stop me from chasing you? No. I'll give a fuck if this is your property. This is my property now, bud.
I mean, we're joking about it because that's what we do on Swamp Creatures. But like this shit, like
it's
really
crazy
how
he was in his head.
I prefer to joke about things.
Sure.
I've been in this deep for 6 months now, and it gets real.
Wow, that long, huh?
And real depressing. So it's nice to have some humor associated with it.
Yeah, I mean, look, what are you gonna do? I don't know.
I don't know whether to say like you're welcome or I'm sorry for this. like it really is like it's sad because this is a man's life at the end of the day. Like this is somebody who was sacrificed on the altar of the state for what exactly? Cats, feeding animals, like charitably giving to not even another human but another species that probably doesn't understand like the charity that we're providing them. Like that was the crime that was committed here and that was worthy of capital punishment. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
especially if the case turns out to be like what you guys were saying. I'm really interested to see what Pam has to say. I mean, like that episode's not out yet. I'm really interested to see that. I guess you're gonna go record it right now, but I'm really interested to know like what happened with this case because my wife, you guys know her, she fucking takes my wife takes care of too many animals. Sometimes I wonder if she's become one. But
sometimes I wonder if she is cats. Are you cats or you're not
My
cats?
wife is 3 raccoons in a trench coat. Yeah.
Yeah. So but no, I get it. Like you want to take care of as many as you can, but some you just can't help. And if the charges are that she was taking care of too many animals and some of them happen to be dying and we call that animal cruelty because you didn't shoot them, and so we're going to come and shoot you?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like
the animals died and I didn't shoot them first. Animal cruelty,
It's not, I don't want to say that it's like a good thing that you found this story or that anything like that, but God damn, you could not have found a better story. Like this is so good.
It's so good, but
it's so bad.
It's and that's my thing. It's like you're making this very interesting, and it is an interesting story. But like I can already see like whatever's coming down the pipeline, it's just gonna keep getting better because there's more shit out there, dude. There's more shit out there.
That's kind of it's the point of these things. Like we've been accused of taking advantage of the family and exploiting them and exploiting the story and all this garbage. Where all we're trying to do is in the most entertaining and captivating way possible show people that their rights are being completely destroyed, trampled all over, and somebody who actually knew his rights, Mike Hanson, first of all, he's a minister, he's a veteran, he knew his rights, and he died standing up for exactly what he knew he was, allowed to do. And, that's what we're trying to tell as many people as possible. And so the only way to do that is to do it in a somewhat entertaining way.
You're doing it. This whole series has the perfect tone, in my opinion. It's like,
Awesome.
you know, we joke around, we have our drinks and we make our funny memes, but no, it has the perfect tone to it, and yeah. Go ahead.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, like, this is some shit that, like, honestly, like, I would expect to be seeing on, like, cable TV, like Discovery, A&E, like AMC type of shit, not on a YouTube. Like, I'm being very serious. I don't mean this as like an insult. Like this is TV level quality. Like, this is something that, like, I would expect to, like, be told that there's multi-million dollars of production work put into.
That's what I was
there's
asking.
like hundreds of like production crew team members who are working on this project all together, and like knowing your like what you guys do and like the level of like dedication you guys put to it, and know it's a small team. It's not hundreds of people. This is a couple people doing really, really good work. Like, it's very impressive, and like I really hope that you guys get I can't even think of the word, but I really hope that you guys get what you guys deserve, and like you do get something. Like, I would love to see this get picked up by like a bigger media outlet.
Netflix
like, you guys are
Prime or
doing
something.
really good work, and like you have been for a very long time. Like,
and I would love that.
This is good, man.
What I would really love, honestly, is just to find somebody who I think we can make. I think shows like this can make a profit, and I think they can be really good.
Oh, yeah.
Liberty and libertarian values.
Dude, stay-at-home moms love this kind of shit.
oh man, this could be a Netflix this could be a top 10 Netflix like series overnight. Like, fuckers like college broads and like stay-at-home moms love this shit.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, shit, even seeing what you're doing right now, I can't help but think of another cold case that I've talked about many times on this show that, like, I almost want to be like, hey, man, rock star Jim Sullivan disappeared in New Mexico, really shady shit with the police. If you ever want to look into it, there it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe after season 2 or 3, I'll get into that one.
Yeah. I don't know. I always throw that one out with shit like this, but goddamn, like, the quality that I'm just seeing here is just incredible.
Yeah, and you know, just to stop glazing you for a second, that's one of the crazy things that I just really, you're ruining Montana for me, okay? There was like, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I cannot tell you how many conversations I've had about Montana and about how much of a better place it would be to go and to live and to just get out of everything else. Josh is shaking his head, no, I don't care. It's been something that just keeps coming up in my life. And it's so serendipitous that it comes up right now, like as we're having this show. But you're ruining it for me, because you brought up the statistic earlier that there's more, like, it's like the first or second state as far as exonerations go.
Yeah,
Second. Okay. There's another statistic that you guys show at the very beginning of like the first episode, where it's like, 10 out of the last 12 years, Montana has been in the top 10 of per capita murders by police. And the per capita point is like really important there. The only state that they're beaten by, and I think, Kevin, if you're still here, I think you were the one that kind of broke this down, if I remember right. So thanks to you. But the only state that beats them is Illinois, because of some big thing that happened in Chicago. You take that away, and they're number one.
Yeah, it's you know, I just live so far in the middle of nowhere up there that I don't ever think about ever interacting with the police. Although an officer did just randomly show up on my property one day. He was driving up my private driveway without permission because my neighbor said I was trying to kill him, which was wild. Yeah.
What?
That sounds like an investigation in and of itself.
Oh, I took away the water that he was stealing from my property, and I rerouted my stream because he was coming on my property and stealing my water, and so he said I was killing him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've dealt with something similar already out here. I get you.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, I just, so far Montana has been absolutely fantastic. I've had one interaction with the police, and that's it. And overall, like, Cascade County's number one in Montana, like the worst as far as crimes by cops and corruption and exoneration of innocent people and all that kind of stuff. And fortunately, I don't live in that county, so I don't got to deal with that.
Oh, so you're just observing the fishbowl. Yeah. Well, hey, that's good. I guess. Well, you don't have to worry about the Cascade County cops coming after you. I guess that's one positive.
Not until you put out that second one on Officer Try.
They're gonna be like, Jake.
Well, we have had some posturing from the police in person and some anonymous threats via email telling us to stop. So we're hitting the right chords right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
there's another part of this that I kind of want to get into a little bit. I'm probably going to play like 3 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes of this. It's the lawyer breaking down your rights and, basically if you don't fight for them, which clip I'm talking about probably.
Oh
yeah. So this was in the
part that I didn't film.
Yeah. No, it was a really good, I'm going to lean on Rob for the legalities of this whole thing. But before we do, all you new members, go join the Discord. Ronan just gave us $5. He's going to try to take all our money at poker later, and we're not going to let him. Every night after every show, we play poker. So come join us if you want to. Links are down below. But meanwhile, let me switch over to this and flip this thing over here, and let's go.
One of the most frequent comments that we received on the...
Yeah, sorry. Go.
I didn't film this section of James Dutton speaking, so don't judge the production quality.
No, we won't judge it. No, but it's a really good point because
did you get this back and you were like, "What the fuck did you do to my?"
It was
this is really good. It was really good though. And there's a good discussion to be had about this.
One of the most frequent comments that we received on the first episode of this show was he should have just done what the officer said. At face value, this seems reasonable. After all, Detective Try is in a position of authority in the county government. It would make sense why it would be a good idea to do what he says. To make the counter-argument, here's attorney James Dutton.
In walks this professor. He's 6'6", looks like Darth Vader, has a Darth Vader cutout in his office, okay? Gray-haired, black a magistrate judge with books. And he walks down to the front of the class, slams them down, and we're all terrified, quiet. It's stadium-style seating with 80 kids. And he gets a $100 bill, and he posts $100, takes it to the board. And he says, all of you have the right to that $100 bill. And we're all like, what is he talking about? Like, what is happening? And then he just starts like, what are the facts of the case? Hey, sir, dude, you're not supposed to be here? I thought you were smart. What are the facts? It just tears the room up. And we're all just silently praying that he doesn't come to us, right? That's what the first day of law school is. And you're just sitting there going, what is happening? I feel like I'm in a firing squad.
That's what I want to know.
Okay, at the end of the class, he walks back over to the board, and he pulls that $100 bill
Rob is like
off the board.
PTSD flashback.
You have lost the right to this $100 bill.
100%.
At any point during class, you could have walked down here and gotten this $100 bill. You had the right to it. You did not assert your right, so you have lost it. The only rights we have are the rights that we assert. And if you stop asserting them, you lose them, and you don't get them back. And he closed his books, and he left. I could not tell you what the rest of that 2-hour class was about. I will forever be grateful for that lesson. The only rights we have are the rights that we assert. It used to be illegal for police to have dogs smell your car, smell your luggage. But not enough people asserted their right to privacy, including their private smells, that the courts have ruled collectively as a society we have waived that right.
Yes.
And so we no
Very
longer
important.
have it. They used to have to get a warrant to put a GPS tracking device in your car. But since we're all on Google and Google can track your car, we've all collectively waived that right. They used to have to get a warrant to put a camera across the street and watch your house and surveil you. But since Google Earth, we've waived that right. They don't need a warrant to do that anymore. You see how bad this gets? Okay? Normally, I open carry a handgun. I don't conceal because I hope to never have to shoot anybody. I open carry to show I have the right to a firearm, and so do you, and we should all get used to seeing them.
And yeah, I mean, like he makes these points, but like it's so huge, and that's why I love that you guys are drawing attention to this case, because a lot of people, like you said at the very beginning of this, you know, a lot of people reacted, and I don't, you know, maybe you're just saying that for content. I don't know. I wasn't at the cutting room floor, but maybe I could see a lot of people saying this. Like, if he would have just followed what the cop said, if he would have just got off the property, he wouldn't be dead right now.
He should have just obeyed orders.
Yeah. But you have to assert your rights at some point. And, you know, unfortunately, some people are going to have to get hurt. But if a tree falls in the woods and no one hears
if
it,
you don't assert it.
I'll address it. Yeah. But no, like, if you don't stand up for it, and, you know, unfortunately, some people are going to get hurt in the process. But that's why I love what you're doing here, because you guys are shedding light on this, that you don't, like, if the cop doesn't have a warrant, he's not legally supposed to be there. And if this cop gets away with it, not only gets away with it, but gets a fucking award. Like, that's the thing that bothers me the most.
Now it sets a precedence that cops get awards for shooting innocent people.
And that's the part that bothers me the most about this case. It's not even really like, I'm sad that the guy died, but the way that they reacted to this was not to have any remorse, not to feel bad for them at all. You do interviews with his children where they're talking about, you know, their interactions, trying to get information from the cops about what happened. And they're all like, no, your dad fucked up. No, you're a piece of shit. No, you're the crazy one. That we did exactly what we were supposed to do. No remorse for killing their dad. No understanding about where he came from. None of that shit. That doesn't matter. They were right. Not only were they right, they were so right that they get an award for killing your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the part that pisses me off the most, and that's why I'm very happy that you guys are making this thing. Of course I would have never known this. This is fucking Montana, the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's another thing too. If you guys weren't doing this, nobody would ever know.
No, it's a crazy cat case. No one would know about it.
Know. In
but
Montana,
like, this whole thing makes me want to go like full law-abiding citizen, right? Like that's the feeling that your film and your series
what does that mean,
invokes. Law with Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler is a really good movie. You should watch it.
Such a good movie.
Yep. But you know, it's that's the feeling it invokes, and that's what you're going for, and I like it. I need to do more. I need more.
Yes, thank you, Tim.
Yep.
Well,
Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize after bombing innocent people. If Obama can get a Nobel Peace Prize for bombing innocent people, you can get an award for anything you want.
Obama.
That's the part that pisses me off. Is it's not that, like, they don't realize they made a mistake. They did the right thing. They did so much the right thing. They deserve something for it.
Yeah, I mean,
it goes back to lack of training too.
Sorry, go ahead.
100%. But like, I mean, so Tim, the son of Mike, the youngest son of Mike, he got a phone call from one of the investigators right after the death, who started asking him, like, grilling him like he's a suspect or something. And he started firing back and complaining and like being like, you need to answer my questions first. This is my dad who died. Y'all killed him. Tell me what happened. And basically what the guy told him, and his wife in the documentary quotes it off screen. And he basically said to him, it is unrealistic to think that police officers are going to respect your rights all the time.
That's crazy, dude.
And this is a guy.
I mean, he's right.
I have the clip.
He's right. At least somebody's telling the truth.
Yeah, it's their job to their
not
job is
respect
to not
your rights at all on purpose for the job of investigating their crimes that they were hired to like enforce through the laws that you elected people to legislate towards you. And then you wonder why your life sucks dick and you're a miserable fucking piece of shit.
Here, let me I have the clip because I know exactly which part you're talking about. I'm gonna play this clip, and you kind of give your spiel on it. Because we got a hard out here in 15 minutes. We're gonna get so hard out of here. But here we go.
I'm gonna get hard.
You can say what did you say, babe?
So there was a point in time on your phone call with him that he told you that you were being unrealistic if you believed that your rights are going to be followed all the time because that's not what happens in today's world or whatever it was. And then started calling you delusional after that.
And like that's the attitude that the cops had the whole time, right? Was like, you're delusional, you're fucking crazy, like, you know, this happened exactly by the rules and this is how it was supposed to go.
You wanted your rights respected? Fuck you, you piece of shit. You don't deserve anything. You should be fucking happy you're still alive right now. We don't gun you down in the middle of the street in front of your whole fucking family.
You allegedly
Fuck
had
you.
cats. We don't give you rights. You don't
You
have
don't
any
even need
rights if you
cats.
have
Fuck
cats.
you. You don't deserve to live because we don't decide you deserve to live. Like, we don't need a reason. We can do it because we can. What are you actually going to do about it, Rob? You're a lawyer? Fuck you, too. You ain't shit either.
All right. We all know.
Where the hell you
Robbie.
coming? I'm on the good side. We're civil rights attorneys over here. Come on.
And when they gun you down, they're going to say you're civil rights unattorneys and that you deserve to die. You were against the Constitution.
So
they're defending the Constitution, Rob.
You're smoking on that
They're
97%
law enforcement
kid.
defending the laws
Yes.
created by this great nation that is encompassed by that Constitution that you talk about there.
Okay.
They're just doing their civil duties. You should respect and back the blue no matter who's talking about them.
We do the opposite.
Let
You're
me-
retarded.
Rob, I just want to say thank you for being back on the show, because if you weren't on the show, Josh would probably be directing all of this at me.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
Josh is experiencing weed, the like of which he is growing
He's not
accustomed to.
accustomed.
He's not accustomed to yet, but he is enjoying his time being in legal weed land. And I am
I
very
don't
jealous.
appreciate the
Listen.
libel and the slander that is being
Okay.
flung my way.
Roll it to like the first 2 minutes of this episode.
Listen to your Lord when he speaks to you. Okay. All right. Look, Jake's only got like 13 minutes. He's got to catch a flight. Okay. So listen,
All right.
man, what's coming next? You're on your way to Montana right now to go interview Pam. Like, how many more episodes are there in this season? Is this a 12 episode, 8 episode? What's coming next? Where can people support? All those kinds of things, man. I want to know what's up.
So yeah, man, it'll be an 8-episode season. It's about all I've got in me.
You're only on 4. Fuck.
Holy shit.
We've got 4 episodes left. We're halfway through. The next one, God willing, and assuming that she is willing to have everything aired, it will be about Pam's story and kind of give the entire backstory. And we might be able to shed some light on why the cops are so obsessed with this woman in this case.
That's a major question.
Yeah, because that's one of the biggest questions is what was the urgency? We none of us have been able to figure out what the urgency was that day, and we haven't found any evidence so far or any testimony so far as to why that may be. So that's what's coming next. Yeah, that's what's coming next. And we've got 4 more episodes.
So you guys are like, how do you make that determination 4 more? Like, do you kind of know where it's going to end? Like, how much of this? Because I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff you haven't shared yet. So
there's stuff we haven't shared yet, and I decided on 8 a little late in the game. I wanted to do 10, but man, we are currently me and my wife are physically building our house in Montana ourselves. We've put every piece of wood up there, and we're remodeling our house in Atlanta, trying to sell it, trying to move up here, trying to make this show along with my network and 5 other shows. So 8 episodes, I think will do it. And then if we do have an update after that, then we'll release like a special episode later on.
Sure.
But it likely will not be wrapped up completely by episode 8. So we will probably have a bonus episode later.
Yeah, and this is like a recent thing. This isn't like some cold case you guys are going after.
Yeah.
This was like less than a year ago. February 23rd, 2024, if I remember right. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is crazy.
We're coming up on a year since, which is
make sure if anyone's gonna sue civilly, you guys get that notice out within 3 years. Within 3 years, you got 4 years to bring constitutional claims, but 3 years to give notice of any other kind of state law claims.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pass that on.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy, man.
I just want, for the record, Rob is not bar licensed in the state of Montana.
It's federal, you piece of shit. It's federal.
We can't even confirm that he's federal. He's licensed in Florida. We can't.
Yeah,
even
we can't
that.
confirm nor deny he passed the bar in Florida, let alone
Bar
Montana.
number 105527.
Oh my God, taking it so personal.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Jake?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure attorneys aren't allowed to have that kind of beard. So yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Call them
He
out.
said you ain't a real attorney. He said fake.
I told you, man. Shave the beard.
Sit down, take a drink.
Said you got to have a clean face, baby face beard, man.
No, the beard stays. My boss has his own shop, and he knew who he was signing up. Whenever I took the job, I said, "I'm gonna do my podcast. I'm a libertarian and I'm a comedian." He was like, "Will you work?" And I said, "Yes, sometimes." And he said,
he was like, "Better than most of my candidates. You're hired."
Yeah, exactly.
All beards matter.
Well, hey, I wanna be respectful of your time. I want to give you time
sir.
to do whatever. So, yeah, where can people follow? Where can they find more? All that kind of. It is in the description, but go ahead and tell them.
Yeah, man. Well, for some reason in Montana, Facebook is the biggest thing there is, and so most people are watching on Facebook. That's where we get the vast majority of our views.
Okay.
It's wild, which is good and bad. Because you can't really monetize Facebook, so I started putting ads in the actual episodes for everything. But yeah, you can go to peacefulsea.network. That's my website. That's what we just launched the network this year. You can join the Dollar Media Club. It's $12 a year. You get access to the Discord and discounts on merch and all sorts of bonuses. And there are upper tiers as well if you want to get more involved. Yeah, peacefulsea.network, and then we're on Twitter, YouTube, Rumble. We love Rumble. We make more money on Rumble than we do on YouTube.
Yeah, the splits there are much nicer. You just got to build it up. Yeah.
Yeah, got to build it up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely go check out what Jake's doing. Like I said, all the links are in the description below to find Jake, to find Peaceful Sea, to find the playlist to this series that they got going on. It's fucking amazing. You will not be disappointed. When do you guys expect to wrap up the show? Like, when do you expect the 8th episode to come out?
I'm guessing it'll come out June.
Yeah.
I'm thinking one every 4 to 6 weeks is what it's been going. So I'm thinking probably May or June.
And that's kind of the crazy thing too. Is like, it's not like you guys kind of like pre-recorded this whole thing ahead of time and you're just slowly dripping it out. This is fresh.
This is
like,
as we're going.
Yeah.
We're putting out
So like
more.
episode 5 is going to be Pam.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. You're on your way there now. That's awesome. I sound like I'm underwater. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't know if that was just me or not, but yeah.
It might be my reverb is too high. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do I sound like now? Are we having fun yet?
You sounded like RFK for a second, and then you're all good.
Okay. No, it's all good. I have the monitor off because it's too distracting. But yeah,
it did happen after you tried to play God. That is correct, Ronan.
It did. You got struck down real quick.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Suck it, dude. But anyway, listen, Jake. Love to have you back on, man. If you guys, whenever you guys finish the series or before then, if something crazy happens or whatever, don't feel free to reach out, man. Anything else you want to plug out of here before we jump into poker?
Man, if you ever want to have Kevin on, he would love to chill with you guys and chat for a while.
I'd love to talk to Kevin. He seems like a legit dude.
Yeah,
he seems like
awesome.
a legit guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the native, he can come too. He can bring his native friend. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, man, just go peacefulsea.network. That's literally my whole life at this point is that building out that network and the shows on it. So yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Man, I appreciate the crap out of y'all. I love the Discord. I love watching y'all's shows. And I've known Josh for a few years now. Tim, we met this past year, and the other two, I don't think we've ever met. Have we ever met in person, Mitch?
Are you gonna
Mitch and Tim are antisocial? It's okay. They don't have friends.
Mitch and Tim, I ain't no antisocial bitch. That's Rob.
No, I'm not yeah, but I don't think we've met in person unless it was at like a convention. We might have met at a convention. I don't know. Were you at the last convention?
He was.
Was he in DC?
DC, yeah.
DC,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
I was there. We might have met.
Okay.
We were doing interviews and stuff.
Doing things.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we were doing stuff. I don't know.
I was running
well,
around quite
yeah.
literally most of the time.
Well, look,
Well, I'm sure our paths will cross again.
Bring me up to Montana. I'll do some interviews for you, man.
bring you up to Montana. Okay.
Yeah.
At the very least, we're definitely going to be in Grand Rapids. So if you're there, we're definitely.
Oh
hanging.
yeah, we have to be in Grand Rapids. That's gonna happen.
Liberty Libations will be at Grand Rapids as well. So yeah.
That's right, dude.
There we go.
We're gonna have a crossover. Liberty Libations, the only two the only two drinking podcasts in libertarian circles will meet, and there will be a massive.
There's gonna be a drink off. There's gonna be a firefight.
See this? I will win. I will win. Okay.
We'll see about that.
Challenge
If we spread
accepted.
it out over 6 months, he will absolutely win. If we spread it out over the weekend, he's gonna lose. But we'll
I'm
be
gonna
great
die.
and entertaining.
I
You
will
gonna
die.
die.
I have an idea, but we'll talk about it in poker.
All
That's
right,
fine.
boys.
Hey, so March though, I think it's like March 6th or something. Rob says he's gonna come visit and go to the Georgia convention. Are you thinking about that? I know you said it all depends on travel.
I think I'll be there.
March 8th is what it says. Yeah, I just found
March
it on their
8th?
website. Yep.
Yep. I think
I
I'm gonna be
might,
there.
big maybe, but you might get a guest appearance from Josh as well too.
All right.
We'll see. Brandy's gonna hate me. I'm gonna have too many swamp creatures in my house at the same time. Yeah.
Probably not. Very close to my wife giving birth, but you know.
Yeah.
We'll see
We'll
when
see.
we get closer. Yeah, exactly. We'll see. Big we'll see. Big we'll see.
All right, guys, go check out everything that Jake does. All the stuff is in the description below. I'm not going to try to remember it all right now, but definitely go watch the Cascade Effect. You are not going to be disappointed. You're going to be on the edge of your seat like we are, and we're not glazing him. It sounds like it. You know, this is not a Dunkin' Donuts, okay? He is the real deal. All right.
We are not a Dunkin' Donuts for sure.
The way the cop hopped the fence, he thought it was a Dunkin' Donut. But it was not a Dunkin' Donut.
Yeah, man. Hey, go check it out. Everybody, love you guys. We'll see you in poker. Adios.
Adios,
go.
everybody. Thank you, Jake.
Thanks,
Thank you
Jake.
so